Okay. You can have a fight with them afterwards, okay?
I just wanted to answer the question I asked in the first place. Can he reassure me that I'm completely safe from getting leukemia?
I can't reassure anybody that I'm safe from impossible.
No, but he knows that it will contribute to any further elements I have.
Right, okay, look. George is going to summarise in a minute, but there's a man there really bugging me. I know he's sure he's dead.
Brian Steve, seriously electrical executive of businessman. I understand what problems people have. However, over the next few years, it transpires that these people are right, and George Carlo was right. And we've ignored them and ignored them and ignored them and ignored them. Who's going to be responsible?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
The reason that we're interested in this is trying to find out and take it forward, and we're all doing little bits, and we've got constituents that back us away, and we do it, and we talk to ministers about planning rights and so on. And you can see it kind of moving, but not fast enough from the point of view of people like you. And, you know, we've got to get a lot of our colleagues on side too. So every one of you's got a local MP that you should go and talk to sensibly about it, and, you know, see if you can...
They don't listen. They ignore you.
They say there is no evidence because Michael Clark of the HPA says there is no evidence.
Well, I can think of lots of things. I'm not going to mention Bernard Matthews here, but
And Professor Hyland says it's an obscene spectacle when Michael Clark is sent to public meetings.
Okay, I know the problem. It is
Michael Clark says that their company is independent. They're being paid by the phone companies.
How many MPs are here? Would they raise their hands to see how many MPs are here?
If you one or two in and gone.
Can you all raise
With
your
10
hands?
lobbyists to every MP.
No MPs here.
Well, there's Andrew's
one.
stuck in the middle there, and he's interested in up, and he's into IT technology and stuff. And Richard was an MP when he was a nice chap.
Is that because most of them don't want to be able to be held to account by knowing?
They don't want to know.
If they're seen to know what happened, they can then be held to account later. Is that why there are so few MPs here?
Right, okay, all right, that's the point. Are you all right, Brian? You okay? You made your point and you've got that. So George is going to sum up 2 minutes, and I mean 2 minutes, and then Eileen wants to say something and try and move something. Okay?
In summary, first, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very honored to be able to be here. The thing that I'm observing is that people are asking researchers to do things that researchers don't do.
Yes.
And it's because you have something missing. You do not have the program that allows for doctors and treating doctors to be able to take the information and apply it efficiently and readily to patients. You need to have a different place to deal with clinical argument, diagnosis, intervention, and scientific argument. Patients should never be victimized by situations where scientists are mixing it up. I mean, I love to mix it up with Dr. Johnston and with Dr. Chalice, but that should never compromise patient care. And what's missing here is the clinical intervention research program that is necessary to address those clinical needs that are real. Those are medical problems that you have that are not being addressed. There are research programs in place, but the research programs do not solve the medical problems. So my recommendation is that you consider expanding what you have and perhaps adopting something similar to what we have with our Safe Wireless project, with registries and interface with clinicians and develop a database that's based on the medical presentations. And then at some point, that database interfaces with the research database and you have your problem solved. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Carlo and Ian Gibson and everyone for coming today. And I think we've all learned a lot, and we've got a lot of lessons to learn as well from what Dr. Carlo's done. And I'm going to have to whisk him off quickly because we're off to Dublin tonight and he's addressing all the Irish doctors tomorrow, and they've sponsored an event. And we've got to rush off for a live press TV interview for one of their primetime shows that's going out tonight. So you probably won't be able to stay as long as you'd like to. But we've drawn up a resolution with the help of Alan Mayer, who's a lawyer who I'm sure most of you know. And this will give, I know we've only had 1 or 2 MPs in the room. Thank God we've had Ian Gibson and you've been along here. Andrew Mitchell's been here as well. But I think that's a pretty poor show, knowing how serious this problem is and how concerned we are as the public, and knowing that their postbags are full with our letters. So I'd like to give them one more opportunity, and I think everybody should take this to them. And we've drawn up a resolution from the Radiation Research Trust to urgently encourage all the government departments of health, all the committees, to urgently encourage the reopening of the Stewart report. And we want it to be reopened, looking urgently into addressing EHS, Wi-Fi in our schools, and the planning procedure, which is completely in chaos. And that needs to be as a matter of emergency. And the ideas that George has brought with us for our medical doctors to now be educated immediately to start dealing with the problems that we are suffering with, I think it's fantastic, and that's where it needs to go. So thank you.
Well, if you agree to that, I'll make sure that Bill Stewart gets it, okay? And we take it from there and we'll move it through government and through the channels and see what happens, and we keep the issue. The issue is still alive, it's just very slow moving, that's all, from your point of view. So let's have a little bit of patience, and by this time next year, let's hope it's all solved. But there you go. Thanks very much all for coming. Thank you.